Hello everyone, it's Brickmaster here, and today I have an absolutely fantastic LEGO set to review. This is the LEGO Unitron 6991 Monorail Transport Base from 1994. This set comes with 568 pieces, was rated for ages 8 to 12, and cost you $178 back when it was in stores. This is a magnificent set. It's a masterpiece, and is definitely in my top 3 favorite LEGO sets that I own. It's definitely the best space set that you can get. So, I was really excited to get this, and I'm really excited to do this review, so let's look at the minifigures first. So here are the minifigures that come in the set. There are a total of 4, and I think they maybe could have included another one, but I'm certainly not complaining. So the first one here is the Unitron Chief. You might think that he might be rare, but he actually comes in as many sets as the regular Unitron minifigure, but this is what he looks like. He has some nice printing on his torso. A very nice printed helmet, I think. I know that the Spirius Chief also has that, but I think it's unique to this time period. It has some blue oxygen tanks, a dark gray torso, light gray pants, and a yellow belt area. And if you lift up his transparent blue visor, you can see he has some glasses underneath to protect him from some bright rays from the sun, I guess, or whichever star they're around. And that's what his head looks like. Very nice printing on there as well. Here is one of the regular Unitron astronauts. There are 2, so I'll only show you one because it's the second one's basically a repeat. So, of course, he has the same torso and legs and oxygen tank, but he has a different helmet, no printing this time. And if you lift off his, you lift open his visor, you can see that he has a little communication device so he can keep in contact with the rest of the Unitron forces. And he has some nice printing on there as well. Has some red hair too. I always like when they put a little bit of hair on the face, so it provides a bit of more extra character. And over here you have the most detailed minifigure by far, which is the Spirius droid, which is a very common minifigure, but in one way I do like it because even if you get a smaller set, you can still get a great minifigure. So this is what he looks like. Has a lot of printing. Looks like it's some sort of cybernetic armor or something like that. Looks really nice. Of course, he's mostly red, black sleeves, black hands, and a transparent helmet. Beneath here, he has a smiling robotic face, and he's supposed to be the evil spy for Spirius. And he is supposed to call in all of the other Spirius robots in to attack the Unitron. So I think these are some really nice looking minifigures. So here are the 2 Unitron little ships that can be attached to the monorail itself, and they are very similar to the other Unitron little ships that come out in sets like the Starhawk 2 or the Space Station Xenon, and these ones have some very nice stickers that they put on the side of the windscreens, and yes, those of course are stickers, but I do like them a lot, and they reflect a lot of light, similar to those Exploring stickers that I showed you on the Starship. So you can see it has some nice rocket boosters here. Looks extremely sleek. I really like the look of it. And you can open it like this, and you can fit one minifigure inside. So I'm going to do that now. Fit the Unitron Chief in there. He has to sit back a little bit, but he does have a control panel. I'm so happy they put that in there. And that's what he looks like in there. And that's the back. Rocket boosters. Looks really nice, some laser cannons. And this one right here, you just open it again, the same thing, and I'll put one of the other Unitron figures inside. They look great, really. They look good on their own, and they look even better on the Unitron monorail itself or on one of the other vehicles later, so that's it for them. So here is the monorail train itself. It's a very nice looking thing. It looks a little bit empty and incomplete, but that is because it doesn't have the cockpits on, so I'll go ahead and put them on right here. And they attach on very loosely because they can be taken off when it goes on its little ride around. And over here you can see that's where the battery box is. It has 9 volt, these are the 9 volt batteries. And again, has some really nice stickers similar to ones that are on the cockpits of the little ships. And right over here you can see there are some rocket boosters, a very large one back there, some nice piping going on here, and over here are some lights. So to turn them on, you basically push this down, and there you go. You can make them flash, and if you turn them around, you can make them solid. So that's really nice, and I think I accidentally turned off the battery box since I pushed it. Oh, there we go. So I think it looks quite nice. This is, of course, the motor. It uses one of these wire pieces, and I do think it looks quite nice. This is what it looks like a bit better. So yeah, that's it for the monorail train. So here is the Rover that comes in the set. It has some really massive plastic wheels, which I think look good. Looks like it can go over some really rough terrain. So that's always something I really appreciate. And here, of course, is the cockpit, and you can sit one minifigure there. And I think he looks pretty good. He has a steering wheel, so he has some sort of controls. And over here has some sensor dish as well. But something else that's interesting about this vehicle is that the front cockpit area can detach from the main part of the vehicle. So you just pull it off like this, and it can become its own little ship. And yeah, it's nice. I think that it makes the vehicle a bit more interesting. And I think it looks half decent on its own. I think it looks better, of course, when it's on the Rover itself, but I think that's fine. Over here, you can see there are two plate pieces here that are almost like panels, and over here is a plate piece in the middle. And what that's supposed to show is that you're supposed to get the cockpit piece and just sit it on here, and then use these little clamp pieces, and then it can drive on here, which is a nice look. I certainly think it looks different. Of course, this vehicle is very versatile, so you can do a lot of things with it. And what you can do as well is over here on the base, you can set it down, and then you can, of course, you'll see at the end what I mean. But anyway, I really like the vehicle, so that's it. So I've put the monorail at the main station, and you can see that the base of the main station is this really nice looking raised base plate that has some craters on it. And of course, as a ramp, I'll just move this out of the way. You can see that minifigures can go and walk up if they wish. And over here is a little bit of a flat area. And right over here there's this, you might not be sure what it is, but this is actually something that can put the little cockpits on the monorail itself, so you can swivel it around like this. It has some arrows on there pointing that it can go in either direction, and you just put it on there. There's some really nice looking transparent panel pieces here with some stickers as well. These stickers are very similar to the ones that are on the 9-volt box and on the cockpit pieces, which is nice. And they use some little rocket booster pieces there to be interesting. There's some little lights here. And there's a very massive radar dish here, as well as some smaller radar dishes, so you can, of course, maintain contact with the base. And, of course, you can pick up signals from either direction. So that is it for that part of the base. So here is the little command tower area. And I call it a command tower because this is the area of the base where the minifigures can meet. But firstly, here there's this rock, and there's this little radar dish behind it. And it does have a printed control panel with a little robot on there. It's a bit dark, so you might not be able to see it as well. It has a really nice looking window piece. And you can put a minifigure there so he's manning the little radar dish. So that's something nice and hidden. And over here you can see there are these window pieces, and I wish they put an extra one between these just to make it look a bit more professional and complete. But I don't mind it as much. I think it looks actually kind of interesting. Here's some support beams. Over here there's some more. And these are the same ones used over here on the monorail track. And you can gain access to this by opening this, lifting it up. And there are two little control centers in here. So there's the first one. Has 1021 or 1201, depending on which way you rotate the tile. And over here there is a little control panel as well. Over here there's another control panel which looks really interesting. Has the same control panel at the bottom, but has some levers and some sort of radio communication device. That's really neat too. And here's some little antenna pieces as well. And that's what this area of the base looks like. Alright, so to get the monorail going, of course you'll take off the cockpit just to press this button, and you set it back, and this little arrow will point in the direction which you want the monorail to drive. So let's get going. So rotate it left, and there you go. It'll go up here, drop off that cockpit, and if you send it down here, I'll put my hand here so it doesn't go off, but there you go, and it'll drive back up here. It doesn't pick it up again, but I still think it's a very nice idea. And if you switch the track, turn this around, it'll keep going in that direction, and it'll automatically switch the tracks if it hits it. So there you go. Of course, I'll go ahead and show you another time of it driving, so send it this way now. And I'll just have it go in a loop. Of course, the radar just spins, which just blew me away when I saw that. And of course, make it go down there again. Just at a different angle. There it goes. Up there. Absolutely magnificent. And there we go. Alright, so for my overall thoughts on this set, I think you could tell I absolutely love this thing. And if I had to get one space set, and that would be it, I would get this one. This is the best monorail, and that's actually a pretty unpopular opinion. Most people either like the airport shuttle or the Unitron Monorail more, and personally, I think this one is a much better investment. It is cheaper than the airport one. It's a bit more expensive than the Unitron one, but it has the switching track function, the whole detaching of the cockpits idea, and I just think the monorail looks better, and I think you can do so much more with this one. And yeah, when it comes to how much I'd pay for this, just pay anything less than $400 for it. This is the most I've ever paid for a Lego set, and will probably be the most I ever pay for a Lego set, because this is just extremely expensive. But I saved for it for a while. I've wanted it for around 5 years, and finally got it in late 2019. So I'm really happy that I got to review this for you. You can see that this is not my usual setup, but I managed to make it work today. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Stick around for more space sets, because there will be a few more on the way. No more Unitron sets, because I've reviewed all of them. But yeah, that's it for this video. See you all later. Bye.